Question for you. Have you driven a diesel lately? Well, if you're like the majority of today's car shoppers, the answer is probably no. Diesel vehicles are out there, and today the options for diesel power in Canada are more abundant than ever, and every time I drive one, I wonder why they're not everywhere. Apparently, part of the reason why is because back in the day, diesel vehicles were pretty unpleasant, noisy, sooty, and they spewed out emissions that you could harvest for chemical warfare. Today, that's no longer the case, not even close. The thing is, apparently most people just don't know it yet. There's a perception out there, and automakers dealing in diesel are working hard to change it. One of them is Audi.
This is the Audi A8L with its extended wheelbase, and it's one of the most luxurious cars on the planet. On top of its gorgeous open-pore wood, extremely comfortable seats with massaging function, pop-up privacy screens and ambient mood lighting, and televisions and central command consoles in the front and rear, it's also got this diesel engine under the hood. If there's ever been a better car to prove that diesel power can be refined, smooth, quiet, odorless, and very pleasing in the seat of your pantaloons when you stomp the throttle, I don't know what it is. Noise, smoke, soot, forget it. The 3-liter TDI V6 under the A8L's hood makes none of the above. Start it up, listen. Almost nothing. Look back here. All quiet at the tailpipes.
And at full throttle, well, watch this. There we go, right to the boards. Barely hear a peep.
All of that from an engine that goes like a V8 and drinks fuel like a mid-sized 4-cylinder sedan. Sounds pretty win-win to me, and that's the point of diesel power. There's more energy in the fuel than in gasoline, so engines that burn it need to burn less. This machine's 8-speed automatic with its lower cruising revs and auto stop to virtually eliminate idling help you go further on every tank too. Further on every tank, I mean absolute lap of world-class luxury. The interior is just mind-blowing. You couldn't find a cheap piece of plastic or trim in here if you tried, and even the ceiling is lined in suede. Layer upon layer of detail and texture and stitching and color and display interfaces give the cabin a lavish and techy look. This is neat. The Drive Select system lets you calibrate the A8L into various driving characters, altering vehicle system calibrations to fine-tune the experience. It also works the airbag suspension to literally hover over rough roads in near silence, in my favorite mode, comfort. Brakes are powerful, engage smoothly, and hustle the big A8 down from speed with authority. You can actually feel it hunting for traction and re-strategizing the best way to get you moving, even if oftentimes there's no wheel spin, which is sort of the point. Steering, regardless of the drive mode you select, is typically very light and easygoing and laid back. I wished for a bit more heaviness in the wheel to help the A8 lock onto its line at speed, but for laid back cruising it hits the mark. And when you're feeling laid back, and you will be, you'll apply the throttle gently, let the engine's big reserves of low-end torque waft the car up to speed without breaking 1300 revs, and get silly good fuel mileage in the process. So engage the comfort mode and the massage seats and a little rise against on the megawatt stereo system, and it's like driving a turbocharged all-wheel drive luxury spa. That stereo is a $7,000 optional upgrade from Bang & Olufsen with tweeters that sprout from the dash, which makes me not even care if it plays music at all. There's a night vision camera system like in Call of Duty. This one actively tracks pedestrians you might not see, adding further visibility and awareness up the road to supplement the intensely powerful LED headlamps. The options on this test car total as much money as a nice Lexus. All said, you're looking at $137,000. That's lots, and here's the thing, it's by a landslide the priciest diesel-powered vehicle I've ever driven, and if they can power this absolutely world-class luxury cruiser with diesel, the technology should be good enough for cars that the masses can actually afford. So why aren't diesel engines everywhere? Outdated perceptions about noise and smell aside, there is the horsepower thing. North Americans are obsessed with horsepower, but it's not the forte of a diesel engine on paper. Diesels are big on torque, which is the important number if you're getting something big and heavy to move efficiently. This tester makes 240 horsepower, which isn't that impressive of a number, but over 400 pounds of torque is, though it's not the one most shoppers are looking at, so there's a perception that there's some performance disadvantage. No, there isn't. Watch this. Really, it's a win-win technology demonstrated here in one of the most upscale and sophisticated luxury cars you'll find today. If you're not in the market for a 6-figure flagship sedan, and you very well may not be sure to try diesel power in something else like maybe this affordable Jetta diesel, this Dodge Ram Eco Diesel, this Cruise with diesel power from Chevy. Whether you're in something affordable or something that sets the bar in diesel-powered efficient luxury like our A8L TDI tester, you're getting many more miles to the tank, heaps of performance, no smell, no soot, and barely a peep from the engine bay. There's no compromise, especially when you're opting for a diesel from a manufacturer like Audi, who has been on board with the technology for years. So let's sum up Germany's high-tech, high-efficiency, highly posh flagship diesel sedan, shall we? Mileage on my watch after nearly 2,000 kilometers of driving landed at 8.8 liters per 100 clicks. I've literally put more fuel through a 4-cylinder Honda Accord, and this A8L is a whole world more big, powerful, and drives all 4 wheels. Translation, the mileage and power here are both exceptional. And you'll like the presence, the lavish cabin, the extreme feeling of quality dialed into everything, the smooth and generous performance, all-surface traction, and heaps of onboard space. The stereo system is great, and so are the front and rear massaging seats. Here's one of those big-dollar cars that truly feels like a big-dollar car. You might wish for less of a learning curve to some of the controls, and your driver will probably wish for a bit more heaviness to the steering to help the car lock onto its line and speed. End of the day, if there's ever been a better car to prove that today's diesel technology is worthy of your attention, I don't know what it is.